Hey, Monsterverse fans. Today we're going to be talking about not the kingfisher, that's actually a bird. The cave fisher. Now, I've been diving into this creature for quite some time. Sorry I haven't been back to make another video about it. But this is not going to be Monsters Hidden Potential. I feel like that was kind of a waste of time, if you will. So, this will be it'll just stick with the Monsterverse, because these are creatures, a part of that universe. Now, I will be having a video based on the Loch Ness Monster pretty soon after 3 other monsters that were cut out of Kong Skull Island. So stay tuned for that one, because the Loch Ness Monster in Toho and American Kaiju series is actually a pretty fascinating creature. Stay tuned. So, let's talk about the cave fisher. The cave fisher is obviously, if you look at this picture here, it's a bat. I mean, it's not a good looking bat at that. I mean, are bats even good looking? I mean, just saying, like, damn. It's just an ugly bat. You know? I mean, could have been better. I mean, truth to be told, it's really nothing to complain about. Because truth to be told, Kong Skull Island was based on scary looking creatures. I mean, the skull crawlers look like they could do jump scares every day. I mean, when, what's his name died? I forgot his name. Hold up, who died? Who was the first human to die by the skull crawler? Chapman. It was Chapman. When you see Chapman turn around, you see the skull crawler just jump out and eat him. That was one of those ones like, oh, Jesus Christ, what the heck was that? Oh, whew. Wow. That was scary. Now, this cave fisher, I'm not sure how big it is. I'm sure it's probably as tall as probably your average size man. So about maybe 7 feet. I'll say about that. It's probably 7 feet tall, with probably a good amount wingspan. I'd say about, let's see, the average bat wingspan is actually a couple of inches. So body length, probably the same size as a human arm, but a little more extended. I say, let's see, if the bat would be 7 feet, now I'd say the wings would have to be a good 6 feet wide and about 6 feet long and about, you know, a good decent amount wide. I'll say about, 6 feet long and about no, not 12. I say about, let's see, how wide would a wing be? It'd be about, if I opened up a paper, it'd be about, let's see, get the measuring tape here. I think a foot would be enough. Matter of fact, let's make it 6 feet long, 5 feet wide. You know, no, not 5 feet wide. That's too big. About 3 feet wide. That sounds good. 6 feet long and 3 feet wide. You know, that doesn't sound like a pretty bad wingspan for this creature. I mean, it's pretty deadly enough. Now, the cave fisher is probably like the kingfisher, which is a bird that feeds on fish. But the fish on Skull Island must be pretty big if you think about it. These must be prehistoric and maybe sometimes even modern fish. I mean, the coelacanth survived the dinosaurs, so probably was around during the Permian period. Maybe the coelacanth is actually a kaiju in the Monsterverse. But the cave fisher here, it's really an interesting creature. Probably comes out like an average bat, but maybe it doesn't just come out at night either. It probably comes out on day and sleeps probably when it feels like it. So this thing might be able to go for 24 hours straight, just probably hunting, feeding its young, and doing basically average bat stuff, you know? You know, it probably does sleep upside down, or maybe it sleeps like birds. You really can't guess anything right or wrong with Skull Island creatures. Your theory is your theory. How they sleep, how they reproduce, how they pretty much do everything. I mean, I think the cave fisher is just like a bird. It comes down to the water, swoops down, and grabs a fish. Now, fish on the diet every day, probably not the best thing, right? So I think this thing could have been a scavenger and a hunter on Skull Island. Because we do know on Skull Island, there's deer, and I think there was a buffalo, like some type of water-looking buffalo. Not the scarred buffalo, but like the average water buffalo, if you get what I mean. So the average animals on the island, like deer, maybe even buffaloes, bisons, water buffaloes, bisons, maybe even a couple wildebeests, because, wildebeests are pretty common, and they're pretty much favorable prey more than zebras and gazelles, because, well, there's so many of them, it's just easy to find. Maybe your average warthog was on the island, we never know. They had saber-toothed tigers, so they obviously had to have some type of average animals there so they can eat. Maybe some prehistoric animals survive. Maybe there's mammoths on certain parts of the island. Maybe there's a cold point there. But needless to say, this cave fisher was probably pretty much an opportunistic predator. It probably preyed on the psycho vultures, which would definitely be smaller if we're looking at this cave fisher here. So the psycho vultures would basically be a pretty neat meal. Anything that died on the island, well, that's opportunity for every predator. So yeah, I think the cave fisher would actually have a good time just pretty much eating, the cave fisher would be a healthy looking creature, little competition in the sky. There's not really many animals on Skull Island that would probably challenge the creature for the sky besides the psycho vultures, who are actually strong enough together to pick up a man. Jeez, they tore that man apart. I knew he was going to die, but I thought it was going to be like, maybe we would have got the, from the last video, the cobra. Maybe that would have been convincing. You just see the cobra come in and be like, surprise, and just drag him underwater. But nah, I can settle for that. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not pretty much a good way to kill somebody off, but it does show the potential threat the psycho vultures did possess. Now, the cave fisher against the humans. Now, the humans will have to be in a cave in order to disturb the cave fisher, right? So, you could say that Colonel Packard's team, because apparently they had more cast members than that. Sheesh, there was like so many people dying by Kong, I almost forgot. Ugh. So we'll say that they had a lot more people. Let's say a good amount of people survived Kong's onset. Let's say most of those helicopter people actually made it. Probably I'd say about 2 or 3 died. I'll leave it to that. Let's say 3 people died, and the rest of those people who got trashed somehow survived that. Let's say one of the survivors that's lost on Skull Island tries to rest in a cave. But then you start hearing these bat-like noises, right? And then you see Drool just drop down. He looks around, doesn't see anything. It drops down again. He looks above, and there's a cave fisher looking at him. Now, depending how they may make this look, it might look cute at first. It might be one of those adorable little things like, aww. But then it turns into a freaking nightmare when they all just like, it drops down, and it actually looks like it's taller than him. He doesn't even know what to do. It's basically going to be a velociraptor from Jurassic Park. It's going to look at you for a good minute, examine you, see what you are. Are you a threat or are you food? And once that man realizes he does not have his gun, and once the cave fisher smells that this thing is bleeding, oh yeah, it's gone. It's gone. It's dinner time. He going to call the rest of the group, and it's dinner time. I'm not kidding. The cave fisher, well, let me do another scenario. Middle of the night, one of the survivors walking around, well, probably not in the skull crawler area, because the skull crawlers are pretty much hyper aggressive, and like, their stomachs must be pretty fast. I'll do a video on the skull crawlers' eating habits later, but they are very vicious creatures. Jeez. So at nighttime, this man is walking around in the woods, And then in the night sky, you see a group of cave fishers just hunting. Like, it's just your average night. Like, they're like bats. So why wouldn't they? So the the cave fishers, let's say there's 5 of them, right? They get the scent of blood in the air. Because Kong did leave them soldiers pretty banged up. And then they pinpoint it. They use echolocation, which distorts their prey. So when they use echolocation all at once, that survivor, is distorted. He can't think straight. He doesn't know what's even happening. And then he starts making noise down below. And that's when they pinpoint their prey. They come down. Some of them stay on the tree while the alpha male. Yeah, let's say alpha male. They're creatures. Yeah, there has to be an alpha male. I mean, these guys are prehistoric, so they must run on that kind of instinct. So the alpha male kind of takes point and kind of examines the prey while the females wait up in the trees. Now, they're hunting to bring back something to their young. This man is hearing noises all around, but he is so dizzy he doesn't know what's happening. He doesn't know what's around him. And the cave fisher, the alpha male cave fisher, is just looking at him like, let's see, what is this object? Now, when the man regains his sight, he can't see them. Because they probably are like really good in the dark. Now, I think these things might have a camouflage ability. Because they're pink, for crying out loud. I mean, they're like bald rodents. I mean, have you ever seen like a baby mouse or a baby rat or any type of baby rodent? They're pink. They're flat out pink. So these guys must have a camouflage ability to give them that stealth advantage at night. Maybe even during the day. Maybe it's like a chameleon thing. Maybe this is where chameleons got the camouflage ability from. So we'll give them that. It's a camouflage ability the same as chameleons. So they camouflage themselves, and the alpha male is standing right in front of the man. He doesn't know, the man doesn't even know what's happening. He really just regained his sight. And then the scent of blood comes in again. And then, well, let's just say the alpha male gives the signal and the females descend on him. And the last thing that man sees is the alpha male's fangs just closing in on his head. There you have it. Now, do these things eat? Like, flesh and stuff? Yeah, I'd say they eat flesh. But I say they might also drink blood from animals they can't really, chew, kind of like rip meat off from, Their jaws are strong. I'll give them that. Every creature in the Monsterverse has strong jaws. Especially Godzilla and Kong. And them Skullcrawlers. Because the way the big one was biting Kong, those teeth must have really hurt. These guys have backwards pointing teeth like an anaconda. Coupled with their tongue, the tongue pulls you in, the teeth hold you. And if they rip back, that's taking a chunk out of you. Forget, if you were just like a sturdy, big, hefty animal, you better make sure you got Godzilla's diamond hard skin for those things not to even scratch you. Kong, I'll give him, he gets a break. You know why? Because he was young. This is a, you know what? I can't say he's inexperienced because he's been fighting these skull crawlers since he was really young. I guess since he was about fighting age, he must have been avoiding them. And then when he finally got, the chance, he started manhandling these fools like it was breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It was just that easy for him. Woo! Kong, my man. But look, these cave fishers, they don't possess a threat to Kong. I feel like if they see Kong, they might land on him. Kind of like a bird on a perch. But they wouldn't do anything to him. He's Kong. He's the only thing keeping the skull crawlers in the ground. And I think most of the animals actually understand that value. Well, besides the mirror squid. The mirror squid does look like it could take out a couple skull crawlers in the water. Just grab one in, boom! That skull crawler is gone. Just gone. Anyway, guys, please comment down below of what you guys think of the cave fissure. To me, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful work of art. Comment down below. Please like and subscribe, and always share with your friends. You like my videos, guys, you know. I hope you like it. I mean, leave a like if I deserve it, you know. I'm just happy you guys are willing to listen. Have a blessed day, and make sure that I can beat Godzilla. If you don't smash that subscribe button, I cannot beat Godzilla. I'm just kidding. Subscribe if you love King Ghidorah. Alright? I'll see y'all later.